Felix here. With the inflation data imminent, we need to talk about what it's going to do to stocks, what it's going to do to interest rate hikes, and we're still going to get July. And we also need to talk about the kneecapping of the top 6 tech stocks. Your favorite tech giants are getting kneecapped by no other than NASDAQ. So inflation first. We're expecting it to come in a little bit lower this month. A little lower than expected. In fact, 60% of traders polled yesterday thought it would come in below expectations. What does that mean? Well, it means if it does come in a little bit lower, we won't be that surprised, and the market won't go up that much, because generally the way it works is lower inflation, higher stock prices, lower interest rates. Now, the options market is only expecting a 0.7% move today, which is the lowest move on the release of inflation data in years. So the market's getting bored of inflation, and that's a good thing. It just means that if it does come in lower, you're not going to get massive fireworks, or if you do, it's likely to cool itself down again at the end of the day or the day after. So the way I'd look at this is it doesn't really matter that much unless it comes in way lower or way higher. So if we are moving within 0.1, 0.2, 0.3% of expectation, it's kind of like neither here nor there. If it's much bigger than that, okay, then it starts to matter again. Now, as for the rate hike in July, 94% of the Fed fund futures are saying we're getting a rate hike. So the Fed has kind of like snookered itself in pushing so hard for this in the media that the market now believes it, so they really have no choice but to give us that rate hike. It doesn't really matter what the inflation data is today. They're still going to have to give us that rate hike if they want to maintain their credibility. So I think it's coming. I think the quarter point is coming. I think it's priced in. I don't think it matters. And what about the kneecapping business? Well, the top 6 NASDAQ stocks are like 50% or 48% to be precise of the NASDAQ. And that's, your Microsofts, your Nvidias, your Teslas, and all the big tech stocks except for Meta. That's number 7. They somehow managed to get out of this, probably by, lobbying efforts or something on that front. We should talk about Microsoft lobbying efforts in a moment as well. So what does that mean? It means that they will get shrunk as a percentage of the NASDAQ from about 48% to about 40% is the expectation. That's a fairly big move, right? That's 20% less importance as part of the index. So index trackers, ETFs, and so on may have to sell some of these big tech stocks. So watch out for some headwinds. Is that enough to take Microsoft or Tesla or Nvidia off the top list? No, of course it isn't. It's been done before. We did it in 2011 and 2008. It happens again and again and again as the Nasdaq tries to not just have an index for 3 stocks. But good stocks tend to succeed and tend to persevere. So I wouldn't be worried about it in the long term. But just if you're a trader, be aware of it. Now, as for Microsoft, the Activision-Microsoft merger has just been approved by the US. And the same day, the UK, who had previously rejected the deal and said it's not happening, agreed immediately to review their findings. So obviously Microsoft is very well connected. Whoever their lobbyist is doing a really good job. And I would watch closely in the next 3 to 5 years who from the regulators in the US and the UK is joining either Microsoft, a charity associated with Microsoft, an NGO, or some sort of non-governmental body which is essentially funded by Microsoft or the people behind Microsoft. There is going to be somebody doing that. That's my view on this. If it smells like corruption, it usually is corruption. This is just US can approve it, but the UK going, all right, we change our mind the same day. Someone has, peddled some influence, I would say. So good news for Microsoft stock. Yeah, good news for Activision. We had a trade open on Activision. We closed that yesterday at 7% of max profit. That was a really nice little trade. We had a 90% probability. So that's exactly what we do. If you want to learn more about how you can become a great investor and celebrate with us the 50,000 subscribers that we've just gotten to, thank you for that. Thank you for building this community of people who want financial freedom. Then go to felixfriends.org/50k, felixfriends.org/50k. My little thank you and Winston's thank you is to basically give away financial education. We're giving away our level 2 stock investing course, which basically turns you into a portfolio manager for $25. So it used to be $1,500, now it's $25. We're going to do that for the first 1,000 people who sign up for that, just for this 1 week as a celebration and Thanks for doing it. Thanks for investing in yourself. Thanks for taking money seriously, becoming an amazing money manager, and therefore being able to travel and fly around the world like I am today here and hanging out in the lounge before we get cracking.